The internet is not just technology, it's culture. Every click, every share, every viral video represents decades of breakthroughs, revolutions, and battles that rewired humanity. Behind every app on your phone is a story of invention and disruption. Behind every meme lies the power to influence millions. Today, we'll uncover the historical moments that reshaped digital culture forever. What began as military experiments turned into the most powerful communication system in human history. The internet didn't just connect machines, it connected people. It created friendships, started revolutions, toppled industries, and even influenced wars. Digital culture is now part of who we are. But to understand the world we live in today, we need to go back to the first shaky connections, the early pioneers, and the revolutions that followed. Because the story of digital culture isn't about technology, it's about us, and this is that story. The birth of ARPANET. In the late 1960s, as Cold War tensions grew, the US military sought a way to protect its communications. The result was ARPANET, a network designed to survive, even if parts of it were destroyed by nuclear attack. Few realized this military experiment would eventually give birth to the internet. On October 29, 1969, the first digital message was sent between UCLA and Stanford. It was supposed to say login, but the system crashed after just 2 letters, low. In that fragile moment, the future of global communication was born. Soon, universities and research labs connected, exchanging data across distances never before possible. It was clunky, unreliable, and confusing to most people, but it worked. Humanity had taken its first step toward a connected world. ARPANET showed that information could move without borders, without time zones, and without physical barriers. That concept alone began to reshape how humans thought about knowledge, power, and communication. The rise of email. In 1971, Ray Tomlinson sent what would be the world's first email. The message wasn't profound, but it introduced a symbol that would define digital communication, the @sign. Overnight, communication leaped into the electronic age. Email transformed how people worked. No longer limited by mail delivery or office hours, businesses began to move faster. Students and researchers exchanged ideas in real time, while families found new ways to stay connected. By the 1990s, email had become indispensable. Every home and office relied on it, and inboxes became as essential as mailboxes. But with it came spam, scams, and the pressure of being always available. Despite its flaws, email reshaped culture by making communication instant. It was the first tool to prove that digital interaction could rival physical conversation, chat rooms, and online communities. In the 1980s and 1990s, the internet stopped being just a workplace tool and became a social hub. Platforms like IRC, Usenet, and AOL chat rooms gave people a chance to talk, argue, and share without ever meeting in person. For the first time, anonymity became a cultural force. People crafted usernames, built identities, and experimented with personas. Some found freedom, while others hid behind masks. This anonymity reshaped trust, privacy, and human interaction. Communities formed around every interest imaginable: sports, politics, gaming, and music. The digital world was messy, chaotic, and unregulated, but it was alive. It was here that internet culture began to take shape. Chat rooms also gave rise to the first trolls and the early battles over online civility. Even then, It was clear that digital culture could bring people together or tear them apart. The dot-com boom. By the mid-1990s, businesses saw the internet as the next frontier. Investors poured billions into startups, convinced that the web would change every aspect of life. The dot-com boom created an era of innovation, hype, and speculation. Companies promised to revolutionize shopping, travel, and media. Some succeeded. Amazon and eBay became giants. Others collapsed almost overnight, leaving investors ruined and employees jobless. In 2000, the bubble burst. The crash wiped out nearly $5 trillion in market value. But out of the ashes rose stronger, more sustainable companies that would dominate the next era. The dot-com era taught the world that digital culture wasn't just technology, it was economy. It could build empires, destroy fortunes, and change global markets. Social media beginnings. Before Facebook, there was Friendster, Orkut, and MySpace. These early platforms let users build online profiles, share photos, and connect with friends. For the first time, identity itself became digital. MySpace became a cultural hub, especially for young people. It was a mix of music, blogs, and personal expression. Bands rose to fame through MySpace, and teens crafted their online personas through flashy pages. But with these platforms came the first real concerns about privacy and online addiction. Parents worried, governments grew cautious, and psychologists began to study the effects of virtual life. Still, early social media showed the world that relationships could thrive online. The seeds of a global cultural shift had been planted. The Facebook revolution. When Facebook launched in 2004, it spread like wildfire across universities before going global. Unlike MySpace, it emphasized real identifier, actual name, school, and network. Facebook quickly became more than a platform. It was a mirror of real life, filled with photos, posts, and stories. The like button became a new form of validation, and millions began measuring self-worth through digital reactions. Governments, businesses, and media soon followed. Campaigns were launched, products advertised, and revolutions organized all through Facebook. The platform changed human interaction at its core. It wasn't just about staying in touch. It was about living publicly, digitally, and permanently. The YouTube effect. In 2005, 3 former PayPal employees launched a site for sharing videos. YouTube exploded instantly. Suddenly, anyone with a camera could broadcast to the world. From funny clips to music videos, YouTube became the world's stage. Traditional media giants realized their monopoly was over. Anyone could become a creator, and fame was no longer limited to Hollywood. Viral videos shaped culture in new ways. A simple clip could reach millions overnight, changing lives forever. YouTube didn't just share videos, it democratized fame. Today, YouTube is an archive of global culture. Every tutorial, every performance, every confession lives there, shaping how we learn, laugh, and remember. The meme explosion. The earliest memes were simple funny pictures, strange animations, inside jokes. But memes evolved into a powerful cultural tool, spreading ideas faster than news. From rage comics to Doge to TikTok trends, memes became the shorthand of digital communication. They turned humor into language, uniting strangers through shared laughter. But memes are more than jokes, they are weapons. They have been used in politics, protests, and advertising. A single meme can influence millions more effectively than a speech. Memes embody the spirit of digital culture: fast, funny, unpredictable, and deeply influential. Twitter and instant news. Launched in 2006, Twitter limited users to 140 characters. At first, it seemed trivial, but soon it became the fastest news source in the world. During global events like the Arab Spring, Twitter amplified voices and spread real-time updates that traditional media couldn't keep up with. Hashtags became rallying cries, uniting people across continents. Celebrities, leaders, and ordinary users all shared the same space. Presidents tweeted, activists mobilized, and controversies erupted instantly. Twitter turned conversation into culture. It was chaotic, powerful, and impossible to ignore. Smartphones and the app revolution. The iPhone's release in 2007 changed everything. Suddenly, the internet wasn't confined to computers. It was in every pocket. Apps revolutionized daily life. Instagram reshaped photography, WhatsApp replaced texting, and Uber redefined transport. The smartphone wasn't just a tool, it was part of identity. People began living constantly connected, never offline. Work, entertainment, and relationships fused into one glowing screen. Smartphones didn't just change culture, they created a new way of being human: streaming culture. When Netflix shifted to streaming in 2007, it began a revolution in entertainment. No longer tied to TV schedules, people could watch what they wanted, when they wanted. Soon, binge watching became the norm. Shows dropped entire seasons at once, changing viewing habits forever. Music followed the same path with Spotify, and live streaming exploded on Twitch. Content was no longer scarce, it was endless. Entertainment became personalized, algorithm-driven, and available 24/7. Streaming didn't just change how we watch, reshaped how we value time, attention, and creativity. TikTok and short-form culture. TikTok stormed onto the scene in the late 2010s, and within years, it became the most downloaded app on Earth. Its short, addictive videos changed how trends spread globally. Unlike other platforms, TikTok's algorithm could make anyone famous overnight. A teenager in their bedroom had the same reach as global celebrities. Dance challenges, comedy skits, and political activism all thrived on the platform. TikTok became the new cultural hub, shaping music, fashion, and even news. It represents the evolution of culture into seconds-long bursts, proving that attention itself is the new currency. The algorithm era and AI today. Culture is guided by algorithms more than by people. Recommendation engines decide what we see, what we buy, and even what we believe. From YouTube suggestions to TikTok's For You page, algorithms are invisible hands shaping digital reality. They don't just reflect culture, they create it. With AI now writing text, generating images, and even creating music, the lines between human and machine creativity are blurring. The future of culture may be co-authored by artificial intelligence. This era raises deep questions. Who controls culture, people or programs? And what does it mean when our digital reality is curated by machines? From ARPANET's first shaky connection to TikTok's endless scroll, digital culture has been forged through revolutions, crashes, and viral moments. Each milestone reshaped not only the internet, but also human life itself. Today, digital culture is everywhere, in our friendships, our politics, our economies, and even our identities. We live in a world where a single post can change history, and a single meme can unite millions. But the story isn't over. With AI, virtual reality, and new technologies emerging, the next chapter is already being written. The question is whether we will be guided by it. If you enjoyed this journey through the history of digital culture, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join us as we continue to uncover the stories that shaped our world and the digital future that lies ahead.